Well, friends, this is for you today. I have a friend by the name of Mr. Suresh, and he owns tea estates in Ooty. Let me give you a little tour of his tea estate.
I can't forget the day we met. Your eyes so blue, me piercing through. I can't forget the day we met. Your smile so bright, it made me swoon. Our love is like a summer's day, hot and endless in a magic way. Whenever I see you, all I can think is my summer love. We're waiting for you, my love. My summer love, we're waiting for you, my love. I can't forget the day we met. You look so fly in your red Corvette. Your hair, your look, your everything. When I see it all, I knew that you were mine. I'm in love with your hair, your lips, your silhouette in the moonlight shine. With my love, you won't ever be alone. My summer love, been waiting for you, my love. Completely a fool, been waiting for you, my love. Head over heels, I'm blinded by what I feel. My love is forever yours. You have my heart, you have my soul. You have my whole, you have my control. Love me tender, love me sweet. With you I know that I'm complete. I'm in love with the summer's day. For you I'd give my life away. Never leave me, never let me go. My summer love, been waiting for you, my love. My summer love, been waiting for you, my love. My love is forever yours. Forever yours, my love is forever yours.
Well, friends, how did you like the farm? Beautiful, isn't it? It's really lovely. Now, Mr. Suresh, he owns these tea farms, that is Vijay Lakshmi Natural Farms. But along with that, he's also a computer engineer and he's working in Bangalore. And in case you are requiring the types of tea, you can always take his help. In the description I'm giving his phone numbers and I'll be giving his email. You can look for it in the description. Now to go ahead with our topic. When I visited the farms and when I interacted with Mr. Suresh, he told me that there are six basic type of tea, which again coincides with what had been taught to us at the institute. Now those 6 type of basic tea are green tea, white tea, yellow tea, oolong tea, dark tea and black tea. These are the 6 basic type of teas. Now how these teas are made, they are according to the plant. They are according to the leaf, the type of the leaf, the variety of the leaf, and that gives these teas, different type of teas, the 6 that I have counted for you all. Now, I learned how to make the tea as described in Ayurveda, as described in, as the Chinese make it, as the Japanese make it. So, that is one thing that I learned from there. And that is exactly what I'm going to show you also today. At the farm, I also learned one more thing. Mr. Suresh showed us the process of making tea. You see me is me in the photograph. I'm there standing in the sun with the tea leaves and so on. Now, the process of tea is very simple. It basically consists about 6 odd steps of tea making. The leaves, you pluck the fresh leaves that there are on the bushes, but actually the right method is not those waist height bushes. No, that is not the right method. Actually, we should let the tree grow. The tree of the tea grow and then let it branch out, and then we should pluck the leaves. That is the right method, but this is the convenience method. The commercial method is that you cut the bushes at the waist height and you pluck the leaves as they come. So you pluck the leaves, bring them back to the processing house, and then they are laid out on white sheets into the sun for first day, and they start drying out a little. Then they are taken into the shade, then they are laid out there. Then from there, this is the process known as withering. First is collecting, and then plucking, and then is withering. After that, there is a drum like this, or like a skillet, an iron skillet, and you take these leaves. There's a burner burning that's very hot. You take these leaves, put them on the iron skillet, and you take them up and you bring them down again. Then you again take them up, then you again bring them down so that it gets hot and the color starts changing. Now this is the process. Now from here the process of oxidation also starts right away. So you take this, then these leaves are put on back onto the white sheets. White sheets are rolled with the leaves in them, and then you roll them very tight and you stretch the sheets and hold the stretched sheets for a few minutes, and the tea leaf starts rolling. It gets rolled, packed like this, and then you open the sheet again and you lay it out in the shade and you let the leaves cool. This is the process of oxidation. And after that, again, once, twice, thrice as required according to the process, according to the type of the leaf, the variety of the plant. It can be twice, thrice, or maybe even more. So generally fermentation is something that is optional. Not everybody does it. It's only till oxidation, and once the leaf has dried, it is wrapped, packed in boxes and sent across. So that is basically the basic process of making tea. When these leaves reach the factories, then what happens at the factory is, your guess is as good as mine. Now, tea in India started around 1800. Cultivation of tea was around 1824. Before that, around 59 BC, the tea has been recorded to have been found in China. And the Britishers came and the colonizers came. They immediately recognized the importance of this beverage, the commercial importance that is, and they knew if they let everybody drink tea the way we all were drinking, then they would not make a single cent out of tea. What they did was that they came, they bought land, estates in Darjeeling, in Uti, in Palampur, and so on, and then they started growing tea there. And when they grew the tea, they started plucking the tea, processing the tea in the farm itself, and that is a little bit of the process. And then they used to ship it back across to England because they set up the factories there. There were no factories in India at that time, so they converted the tea from there. The factory process of the tea was completed in England. Later on, when factories came up in India, then of course it was completed here, and then it was brought into the market not only in India but the world over. Now we changed our way of making tea. The Japanese and Chinese didn't. We forgot our way and immediately adapted to the tea which I showed you in the beginning, the cooked tea, not the brewed tea. So we forgot the brewed tea. So tea, according to the Chinese and the Japanese, if you observe, they always have tea in a cup like this. That cup is always like this. There is a reason why. Now the reason why for this is that it is generally said in the chef's world, in the hospitality, in the world of hospitality, in the world of food and beverage, it is generally said that the very first thing is that you eat with your nose. Food is being made in the kitchen and the smell is coming, and then the desire to eat food starts. So that is your first eating. And then when the food comes to you, so the second method of eating food is when you eat with your eyes. You see the food and the desire multiplies and you want to have it. And the third is you eat with your heart, because when you see and the desire is coming and you really want to grab and eat. So, and then of course you physically take a little bit of it and put it in your mouth. So that is the taste. So then you eat with your tongue, and when you eat with your tongue, the desire, if the taste is good, fragrance is good, if the look is good, then the desire is to eat as fast as possible. So that's basically the design of this cup, is basically on that theory, that when you see this cup, when the tea is being brewed, the smell starts coming, the fragrance starts coming, and when it comes to you, you see the color. Now this is yellow tea, by the way. This is yellow tea that I have made. So you see the color, and now you want to drink. Now what do? The tea can be hot. It can really be hot. It can scald your tongue also. It can scald your mouth also. So you hold it like this, so that your fingers, your hands, your palms can feel the temperature of the tea. And then you slowly bring up the teacup to your mouth, and again your nose is very close, so you are smelling the tea. And then with the lips you drink, you taste, the desire comes. And if you have noticed, the Japanese and Chinese, when they drink tea, they don't leave the cup. They never leave the cup. The cup is always there in their hands, and that is there till the time they don't finish, because that is the right method of drinking tea also, by the way, friends. That don't allow the temperature to go too much down. It should not drop too much, and you should be having it as fast as possible, because the Japanese and the Chinese method of having tea is not having one cup. That is where the cup is very small, so they generally will have 2 or 3 in one session. So friends, this is as far as the tea is concerned, the background is concerned, and what I learned at Ooty is concerned. And now let me show you the right method of brewing tea. Please watch. So friends, let's start the brewing process. We take 6 cups, although we are going to brew it for 5 times, but 5 cups are for brewing, and the 5th one is to support our strainer with the leaves in it. So we'll be brewing the leaves 5 times, and here is the strainer. This cup is wholly for this purpose, and you'll watch there is another purpose of this cup. Now I'm going to add a muslin cloth which is double folded, wet, double folded, and I'm going to add the tea leaves. These tea leaves are from a normal brand in the market, and not the natural ones. And now let's boil the water. Now look very carefully. As the water starts, the little bubbles start coming on the rim of the fry pan, and this noise starts coming, that means your water is done. It is time to remove the water. You do not have to boil it. This water is about 90 odd degrees, 95 degrees, and more than enough. Tea has to be brewed in this heat only. Now we take this water and pour it into the first cup. Now let's take the strainer with the leaves, and yes, that's what we do. We make sure that the leaves are in the water, and cover the cup, and leave it exactly for 3 minutes. Now we take the cup off, remove the strainer and the leaves, and we don't throw the leaves away, by the way. We leave everything as such. And look at this. This is what you have been drinking. How do you like it? You have been adding sugar to this, and you have been adding milk to it and drinking this. This is something of an eye-opener for all of us. Now let's go for the second brew. Again, the pan comes back, the fire is on, and the water the noise of the water has started. The bubbles have started coming on the rim of where the water touches the pan. Means the water is almost done. And again, as I said, we don't have to go for a rolling boil, we have to go for a minor boil, just heat it. So let's go for the second brew. So we pour in the water and lift the strainer with the leaves that we had used earlier. We have not added any more leaves, and there we are. The dregs are from the previous brew, so we drop it into the previous cup and cover it exactly and leave the tea leaves to brew as we had done earlier, and again exactly for 3 minutes, and it's time to take the cup off, and it's time to take the strainer off and have a look. Not much of a big difference, is it? Now both these brews are absolutely bitter. That is why you have been taught to add sugar to your tea. This is the reason. And to mask this murkiness, you have been taught to add milk to your tea. Now, again going for the third brew. Take the water again, boil or heat till the time the bubbles start appearing and the temperature is about between 90 and 95 degrees. And once this stage is achieved, when this noise starts coming and the bubbles start bursting and the bubbles are on the rim where the water touches the fry pan, time to take the water off. It's hot enough. And let's pour the water into the third cup for the third brew. And again we take the strainer. No leaves have been added again. No tea leaves have been added. These are the same tea leaves that we have used for the first brew. And this dreg of course is from the second brew, so it goes into the second cup. There. Now we cover the cup again, and as usual, as we had done in the earlier, we leave the cup, the tea leaves, for exactly another 3 minutes and let them brew. I am repositioning this. There, after 3 minutes, let's take the cup off and let's take the strainer off. My God, look what a difference. Can you imagine? Look at this difference now. This is why I wanted to reposition the cups to show you exactly all the brews in one single frame. Look at this. Look at the difference in the third frame. It has become much more clearer now, but still it is still a little bitter. So let's go for the fourth brew. Now for the fourth brew, again we put the fry pan back and the flame comes on. The water goes in and we heat the water again till the time it is around 90 to 95 degrees. And look at that, those bubbles have come up again. Means it's hot enough and it's time to take the fry pan off. The water is hot enough for the brew and it would be around 90 to 95 degrees. So there we are, and let's pour the water into the fourth cup. Once the water has been poured, as usual, let's take those tea leaves again, and we have still not added any more tea leaves to it. These are the same tea leaves that we had used in the first brew, and the dregs of course these are from the third brew, so it goes into the third brew, and we cover the cup again and we leave all of them. In the meantime, look at this. See, everything now, the color, the whole secret of the tea brewing is unfolding in front of you. Watch very carefully. Now, in the meantime, I know you started thinking, which one would you like to drink? Which one would you like to drink? So that question has now started coming into your mind. But wait. Let's wait and after 3 minutes, let's remove the cup and the strainer with the tea leaves and look at this. Can you believe it? This brew is from the same tea leaves that was from the ones that we had brewed for the first time. Which one would you drink now? The first one or the fourth one? Wait, we'll brew it once again. And the fire comes back again. The pan comes on with the water in it. And we heat once again. And as the water comes to the required temperature, and remember friends, tea is never brewed at 100 degree or rolling boiling water. It is always brewed at around 90 degree or so. And now the water comes back into the fifth cup, and so does the strainer with the leaves in it. There we are friends, and let's cover the cup again as we had done earlier. So there we are friends. In the meantime, I know you are thinking, what have you been drinking so far? In the name of tea, what have you been drinking? Look at the difference between the first and the fourth one. And after 3 minutes, when we take the cup off and when we take the strainer off, look at that. It's so clear. The brew is so clear. This is real tea. The brew is so clear. It is not at all bitter. You don't have to add any more sugar into it. You don't have to add any milk into it. We don't have to add anything to it. You can drink it exactly like this. That is how I prefer it. And that is how it has been mentioned. That is how Japanese drink it. That is how Chinese drink it. And that is how Ayurveda said drink it. But in case you wish to add, let us say, basil leaf or cardamom or ginger or anything, it should be in after the third brew. That means when you are brewing it for the fourth time, that is the time when you should be adding your masala or cardamom or ginger or basil leaf or whatever you wish. But let me remind you friends, look at this. It itself is talking about its quality. It's not at all bitter. It's very sweet and it's very natural. It's absolutely clear. It does not require any more milk, any milk at all. It does not require any sugar. That is the beauty of tea as described. Well friends, how did you like the method of brewing tea? Now, are you going to cook your tea like we saw in the beginning and still have it that way? Or are you going to brew your tea and then have it the way I had showed you, the way Ayurveda has showed you, the way Chinese has showed you, the way the Japanese have showed you? The choice is yours, friends. I am very sure you're going to try this method of brewing tea and you're going to change the way you drink tea. And do let me know in the comments as to how you like this method of making tea, how the tea was, and do share with all your enemies and foes first, of course, as usual, all your knowns and friends, nears and dears. Until the time we meet again with another healthy recipe, it's thanks and bye from Chef Raj. Have a nice time. Cook healthy, eat healthy, and live healthy.